I should be talking, not typing. Oh, we do have somebody. So I'm going to say I'm here. Let me move the camera so you see me. I'm here. I just put it out the window. I am testing. You know, this took me 30 minutes to get on. I was going to do a Q&A, if possible, on hummingbirds. Hi, Nikki. And I think it looks pretty good. And I see the hummingbirds coming in. How does the camera look? Can you tell? Jody from Glendale. Oh, Glendale where? California or Arizona? Is there one in Arizona?
Yes.
Priscilla, very nice. Don't you leave, Gary, because I'm bad with names. Oh my gosh, so many people. I want to do a Q&A on hummingbirds. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to answer you from London. And I am here. I'm see. I've got it pointed out the window. We've had hummingbirds in the house. The thing is, right now this is a test. Again, I know I've done tests before, but I guess I'm live. It only took me 30 minutes to figure this out. I have had so many questions on hummingbirds, and people go, "Oh, we're so jealous that you have so many hummingbirds." I don't even have any hummingbirds out there. So there's a couple out there right now. A few years ago, there was almost no hummingbirds. Susie, ladies yelling, "Hi, Gary."
Oh, hi.
The numbers have to build. That's what the whole idea is. Their numbers do have to build. They come from all over. You don't have an, oh no, I know you don't have them in London. You don't have them in Australia either, do you?
No.
How does the mic sound? Does the mic sound okay? I've got my little Rode mic plugged in. I guess you all can hear me, I hope. Yes, okay, good. Let's see, what should I talk about? I wanted to get over to some of the questions, and I am going to go back and say hi to everybody after this is over. Priscilla saw hummingbirds this morning. You know, there's been, there were a whole bunch, and then there were less. They're struggling also with the weather. It's been cool, and you could see how cold they are at night. I can't believe they all disappeared. They were here a second ago. We had them in the house. They were going in one door and out the other. The thing is, they do have to build their numbers up. So keep that in mind. This is not luck. And also keep in mind, it gets expensive. They eat so much. And if you ignore them, they'll follow you around outside. They'll dive bomb you. They'll do all kinds of stuff. It's so funny. Yeah, I see one right here next to me. I don't know if you can see it. I think you can. Yeah. You have 3 pair there. Yeah, and then they'll build their numbers. And then their babies will stay around because wherever the babies, are raised, they generally come back. Somebody's asked on the hummingbird we've got here that's been building a nest. The green stuff is shade cloth, right? That's why she has an unusual nest. She was out the window and then she moved it to the front. And now she's on the side of the house, right past where the hummingbird feeders are. She's got a nest over there. Flowers, it's Brent, yes. I have people say, "Oh, you shouldn't feed them." Well, here's the problem. There's weed abatement everywhere, and they have just been chopping down all the flowers. So that's why I feed them. I help them. There's only so many flowers that they can get to, but the orange trees are blooming and the lemon trees and, all the citrus trees. And then there's some succulents that are blooming also. What do you call those?
The aloes?
The aloes are blooming. They like that. So they're feeding off the flowers. They're feeding off the hummingbird feeders. People have asked where to hang a hummingbird feeder. If you've got hummingbirds like I've got, I couldn't even hide a feeder. I can put it anywhere. They'll find it. But if you are trying to bring them in, make sure that it's out where they can see it because they know what they are. And as they fly by, they'll see it. And then they'll start to come down. Once they are in your area, then there's no big deal. You can put it pretty much anywhere you want. Now, there's a few on the far feeder over there. Let's see if I can move the camera a little bit. And they come in waves. And they also know if the feeders run out and they hear the tea kettle, they all start hanging around. It's so funny. They know the tea kettle. Petunias. Do they like petunias?
I don't know.
I don't know.
generally we don't grow annuals.
No, we don't have, but I do have some pansies out there. And I haven't really seen them looking around the pansies, but it's so odd. They've been looking around the geraniums. They must be getting something out of the geraniums. How often do you change the feeders? I don't change the feeders. If they're not emptying it, I would say about 3 days. After 3 days, take it down and wash it. Here, what you see here was already just filled. And they go through these feeders out this window 3 times they empty it. Morning, Gardner! Hello, hello! I don't know how you get online. You know, it took me 30 minutes to figure this out.
I'm going to give
They are intelligent animals. What, Gary?
I'm going to give him a shout out too. So.
I don't know if they can hear you back there. They might be able to. But like I said, this is basically a test. And I wanted to see because I got a camera for Black Friday, and it's the first time I've opened it. So this is a new camera. And then I set up my Rode mic, and I'm moving things. So, they can hear you, Gary, because he's sitting.
Jody is a regular. She's been a subscriber for some time too.
I think we have a lot of regulars. Susie Lady, I see. A lot of regulars out there, and I'm going to have to go back. I was going to leave this page and go through all the questions. I feel so bad because I'll go on the computer and it says, oh, you've got 200 questions. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like almost impossible to get to everything. I had a few, but none now. I don't know where they're going because of the weather. The jet stream is so different this year. I have no idea where the hummingbirds are going right now. Normally they head north. They go all over the Midwest. They go all kinds of places.
Yeah, up into Canada,
Alaska. It's just been, we're going into summer. Memorial Day was the kickoff for summer. You know what summer was? The people had to bring chains to go up to the local mountains. It's covered in snow. There were a lot last year. Yeah. Oh, I had tons last year. And they do move around. I do have a lot. They're just, hey guys, where are you all? They're at the far feeder out because they're not sure what's going on. But the weather's doing a number on a lot of stuff. We haven't noticed as many songbirds. We were thinking maybe they were finding more food somewhere else, but now we're wondering maybe they're not coming through here because it's not warm enough yet. So I don't know. Oh, good. Maybe I can do Q&As this way. Let me see. I'm going to leave this page for a minute. Hopefully I don't lose you. Okay, maybe I can't. No, I better not. I'm going to end up losing everybody. I wanted to go through the questions. I'm going to have to get a second monitor on here so I can read a second monitor. But there was just so many questions like, it's 1 to 4. It's one. I make 2 cups of sugar to 8 cups of water. I don't know how it works, but if you take 2 cups of sugar and dump it into 8 cups of water, it will still be 8 cups. So the sugar becomes part of the water.
Yeah.
So that's why you just do it that. It's very easy. Some people say don't use boiling water. I boil the tea kettle and generally I let it sit for a few minutes before I add in a little bit of hot water. I've got it all pre-measured, so I kind of know what I'm doing. I have an 8 cup, so I put 2 cups of sugar in there, and then I just pour in a little bit of the hot water and keep stirring it until it dissolves, and then I top it with cold water so I can use it right away because these hummingbirds are not going to wait when they empty their feeders. They're shy right now. Hey guys, where are you all? Let's see, what else do I want to go to the other page and I don't want to lose you. And I don't know if I go over to the other. I'm going to try this. If I lose you, I'm sorry. I'm going to try this. Okay. Oh, geez. There's like hundreds of questions. People have talked about bees. Okay, I'm going back to the live chat. All right. Bees, you want to make sure that your hummingbird feeders have small holes. These are from Walmart. So let's see. The ones that they're feeding on right now, right there. That's a Walmart one. And for some reason, the holes were so small that I took a soldering iron and I made the holes a little bit bigger. They didn't like it. They were sticking their beak in and they were kind of getting stuck. And if they stuck their beak in And if they moved quickly, they could break their beak or hurt their tongue. So I made the holes bigger. Not too big, so the bees don't come to it. If the bees can reach it, yes, you'll have a bee issue. And if you have a bee issue, no, it's not going to be live every Tuesday. Not until I can figure this out. No, Gary just pointed out, Jody's asking me if I'll be live every Tuesday. Not yet. It's got to take me less than 30 minutes to get the camera to work. As long as the holes are small enough, you won't have a bee issue. That shouldn't be an issue. And if you do have bees, make sure you don't take it down. Don't take it down until in the evening because, well, Gary would take it down anytime, but I wouldn't take it down. And then if the holes are too big, don't open the hummingbird feeder in the house if the holes are too big. I have done that. And then you get bees in the house. But I don't have any extra feeders offhand. These have small holes, so I'm not going to have any bee problems.
Well, one hole is open for the Orioles. So.
I do have for the Orioles, but the bees haven't bothered it. I made the holes just big enough so the Orioles can feed their babies. And it seems like if you use a soldering iron and you make the hole that big, the bees haven't been able to get through to that. So I've been lucky on that. And if the bees come, I'll make you get rid of them because that means they're your bees, Gary. No, I don't know. Ida from Michigan. That's it. So now I want to go over the other page and I don't want to lose anybody. Like I said, I got on here and there's like 100 questions and I should have written the questions out before I came on, but I figured I was going to test the camera. Shade, sun. Oh, that's good. Should they put it around flowers or trees? Like I said in the beginning, if you put it around anywhere they're going to see it, so you want it in the open when you first start putting out your hummingbird feeder. Put it out where they will be flying by, look down, and see it. They know hummingbird feeders. As far as the sun or the shade, if we start getting 100 degrees, I would tend to cover it with something and put a little bit in the shade. It depends on how fast they're emptying it. So it doesn't really matter. It depends on the temperature. Kind of think about where you would want to be. If it's raining, I've got mine now under the eaves so they don't have to be in the rain. If it's really hot, maybe move it in the shade. Regular weather, I wouldn't worry about it. Some flowers are, okay, flowers are better. Flowers are better, but they're not going to get enough flowers. Do they eat grain? Somebody asked me if they eat grain. No, hummingbirds don't eat grain, but they do eat insects. They'll eat fruit flies. Of course, they take nectar out of flowers. If there's little insects in there, they go into spider webs, and they take insects out of spider webs. And they also use the spider webs to build their nests. Somebody asked me, what's the difference between cane sugar and regular white sugar? I'm going back to chat room. If you go to the store and it just says sugar, granulated sugar, it's generally beet sugar beet. And that is GMO'd. As far as will it hurt them, I don't think it's going to hurt them. All the research I've done, it doesn't matter, but I prefer CNH cane sugar, and then I know it's regular sugar. I would only leave feeders out all year if you've got hummingbirds all year. Here in Southern California, anywhere from San Diego all the way up to probably Santa Barbara or further, there's hummingbirds all year here. They live here. So yes, at that point, yes, because it will help them out. When it's raining, they have a harder time finding flowers. When it's really hot, they're coming for the water as well as the food. So yes, Kara from Vegas. Hi. How do you attract bees to your garden? Gary catches bees. No, the bees come on their own. I don't need to attract them. I leave a lot of the kale to go to flower, and then the kale goes to flower. A lot of different things go to flower, and the bees will come to that. I don't have a whole lot of flowers, but I have flowers from the kale. And if I'm missing anything, Gary, remind me. Dinosaur kale has flowers. Collard has flowers right now. My broccoli all is flowering. So the bees will just come. They just come for that.
Yeah, we seem to have different plants flowering at different times.
Yeah, the kale is flowering now, and then that's going to be done real soon. So the bees just come. The bees will also come if you have a water fountain out there, because the bees come and collect water, especially when it gets warm. they'll come to the edge, and it's so cute to watch them, and they're collecting water, and then they fly back to their hive with the water.
Yeah, they're like swamp crawlers.
We did create a sanctuary, and that is true. We do have okay, now I can see a little bit better. Yeah, we do have a sanctuary, and Gary's is different than mine. You get dragonflies, and I don't. Very rarely.
Because I've got larger water.
Oh, because they like the water where they can splash. We've got pictures of that.
I've got a dragonfly nymph that's about half an inch. I saw it this morning. So that might leave the pond this year.
The morning garden saying he has to remove some of his weeds that flower in order to diminish the competition from the fruit trees. Well, this is the reason we feed the hummingbirds, because the same thing. You're removing the weeds for your fruit trees, and here they've got to remove all the weeds because of weed abatement because of fires. So you've got all the hillsides. Gosh, they're weed whacking everything down, and that would be wild tobacco and wild mustard and and if there's any other ones, go ahead and jump in.
Well, we've got a number of beekeepers in our area within a mile from us. So we've got quite a few bees. If you don't have anyone that's actually physically keeping bees, then yeah, you would have to remove weeds to make sure that the bees coming in would go to your fruit trees.
Oh, I never thought about that. That's right, because he wants them on the blossoms.
Yeah.
That's right. But the hummingbirds will go to the blossoms as well, and they'll pollinate.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think he's in Maryland.
Probably not as many hummingbirds.
I don't know if they're that far up yet, because someone in New Jersey said they weren't there yet.
Priscilla's getting warm weather. I'm still not in a t-shirt. She's excited. Well, see, now I'm jealous of you. We should be summer. I don't know what's going to be this year, but she's got warm weather. They said it's going to be 75 Wednesday. I'll keep my fingers crossed. But boy, to see snow in the mountains is unbelievable. I thought it was amazing once when I saw it in April, and now we're going to hit June and we're going to have snow in the mountains. When should you set up for nesting? Nesting hummingbirds? It depends on where you are. The hummingbirds are nesting here. If the weather's good, we've had them nest on the windowsill as early as the end of December, and they nest all winter and into spring. It's 91 in Virginia. I am moving to, wait a minute, 97 in South Carolina. That's warmer. I'm going there. I am a warm weather person. Give me 100 degrees and I will go outside. I was painting a house once and people walked by and they said, do you know it's 106? And I go, oh yes, I know. And when I was a kid, you had the old floor furnaces where you'd stand on them. Well, I stood on them and used to melt my shoes because I do not like the cold weather. New Jersey, 75 to 80, possibly 90. Wow. Now we should be having heat waves off and on, at least, not yet. I mean, it's good for the animals. My dogs are happy, I guess. Maybe. But
yeah, morning gardener. I've watched your show and I believe you mentioned roughly where you lived once.
Yeah, he's in Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh, I was located. That's interesting. He knew I was located. Oh, and Gary watches you. He knows where you live, the morning gardener. He's waiting for you to come with a truck and pick up some wood chips. Oh, 57 in Wisconsin. See, that's like here. At night, it's been 48 to 55. I'm telling you, it feels colder. And then during the day, 60 to 62 maybe. They say we're going to warm up, and it's raining in London. You know, it's not the rain that gets to me. It's the rain and the cold, and everything's damp. So if I go to print something, all my paper is damp. Everything is damp, and we're not usually damp. We're usually on the dry side. Ontario, Canada, 10 Celsius. What is that, Gary? You should know. Come on, you grow up with Celsius.
10 Celsius?
Oh, and Nikki doesn't like the heat. It's like my daughter. She thinks I'm crazy. She loves the cold.
So around
50, he says you have a very good memory.
50 degrees.
50 degrees. See, that's too cold for me. Yeah, no, I want it warm. I want it a little. You know, 70 would be good. 75 is okay. that's fine, but I just don't like it. It's been under that. Okay, now the hummingbirds are coming in, but they're not sure for some reason. They'll come right into the house. They're on the other feeder. Let's see, what?
Yeah, we've got the Pacific Ocean that keeps us cool because the current flows down from Alaska. But on the East Coast, the current flows from the south to the north. Here it flows north to south. So they're going to be warmer because the Atlantic's warmer.
Who's warmer?
The East Coast.
Oh, the East Coast. Well, Nikki loves the winter like my daughter and my grandkids. They love the winter. It's because she leaves the air conditioner on all winter. I don't understand that. You have 48 people. You know, it doesn't tell me how many people are watching. 48 people. So the morning gardener, he's chopping and dropping. That's what you're doing, Gary. You've been doing weed abatement and chopping and dropping the weeds you've got too.
Yeah.
You can also take some of those weeds and soak them and let them rot a little bit if it's warm enough, and then water some of your plants. They love that. Free plant food. I think you do that anyways. Harry Potter. He doesn't like the cold and snow. I just personally couldn't live that way. But I was born and raised in Los Angeles. So, but it used to be colder. I will say it used to be colder. And then it warmed up for a long time, so I got spoiled. And now the weather pattern has changed just a little bit. Let's see, what else? This is supposed to be on hummingbirds. My son lives in San Diego. Is that of course it's a good place to garden. You can garden almost anywhere, but San Diego, yes. And if you don't have a yard, container garden. You can. I'm growing so much now on the deck, it isn't funny. And the funny thing was, I think I just put a video up on how I staked around my zucchini that's out front. And I was like, how am I going to stick the stakes in? Should I stick it in the container? And then I look and I think, why don't I just stick the stakes in flower pots? That means you could grow on a blacktop. You can grow on a place you park your cars or on a deck. And it works really good. You know, it's been up for days and days and nothing has touched it. I'm going to be putting tool everywhere around things.
The number under the left-hand side.
I don't have a left-hand side. I don't think my screen is, no, you know what? I don't think the screen is big enough. I was trying.
Here it is over here.
Oh, you know what the problem is? I shrunk the screen down. My husband's telling me to stretch out the screen.
Okay, there you go.
I shrunk the screen down to go through questions, and that's why I need a second monitor. My other computer has 2 monitors on it. But yes, he should be growing in San Diego. My neighbor across the street from me said to me, oh, you can't grow here. I don't know where these people come from. You can't grow here. You can't grow it in Southern California? Yes, he should be growing a garden. I don't want to get political, so I'm going to be very careful on this, on how I say this. But I really truly feel that everybody should be growing something. I don't care if it's parsley. I don't care if it's green onions, walking onion, something, because you're not going to get all the nutrients. How do I do this with? I don't want to sound like I'm preaching. You're not going to get all the nutrients out of some of the food you buy at the grocery store right now, because they're doing multiple things to the food. Some of it is irradiated. I should do a video on some food that was left here from a party. And we had a party here in April, and there was a vegetable tray my daughter bought. The vegetable tray, nobody ate it. She bought it and brought it here and put it here. The vegetables look as good as the day she brought it here. It's going on 2 months. They irradiate the food so it doesn't spoil. But the problem is, you're not going to get the enzymes and all the nutrients that you need. But if you ate that and ate something from your garden, then you get it. My mulberries give me so much fruit. Oh, good. Something, even fruit from the garden. That's why I think people have to grow something. Then you mix it up. You know, you can't fight with what's going on and how they're preserving food, because there's a reason. The grocery stores don't want to throw food away. It makes it last longer. So that's why I feel everybody should grow something.
That just reminded me I should go and check our mulberry tray.
Oh, that's on the other side of the yard.
Yeah, I haven't been down that far for a while.
You picked all the, what do you call it? But the orange fruit.
The loquats?
The loquats were so good. Oh, wow. Question about red onions. I planted about 1 foot tall. I'd say I planted about 1 foot tall, but looked at one and it's still small bulbs like the day I planted it. Maybe you're not feeding it enough. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's not the wrong time of the year on onions.
No, I notice in my hot tub, I've got some planted on
Come a
one
little
side.
closer in case.
I've got some planted at the same time. Some are producing bulbs and some are staying the same.
So it just, I don't know.
It must be the nutrition in the soil.
Cover it with either wood chips or grass, cut grass or something. Yeah. Because the onions I planted on the deck, and they're so overcrowded, crazy overcrowded, are growing pretty good, and I'm thinning them out. And this is on the deck. Maybe, I don't know if she needs to thin them, but maybe for the onions, if you've got some leaves that you can throw in a bucket from collard or broccoli or kale or something, and then let it just sit in the bucket for a few days and water the plants, that really is a great plant food. It's kind of like nature, kind of, the rotted water. It works really, really good. There's one male. Yeah, sometimes you do have a male that will chase them away. Here are their family units. There's so many of them, and they have so many babies. They're family units. The thing I wonder is, have you ever noticed that during the day, one male will a lot of times watch the feeder, and then as it gets later in the evening, before the sun goes down, they all come to feed. It's almost like they know that the flower is going to die, and they share it at that point. That's what I have noticed. It's like they think it's in their mind, even though they know it's not a flower, they start to share in the evening. And I've noticed more will feed in the evening. She watches them go back to the feeder. Yeah, they do attack. They get nasty. And some of the ones that are really the nastiest are the little rufous ones, the little tiny ones that are kind of bronze color. They're the ones that I've seen really can get nasty. How are your collard starts? If you're talking about the purple tree collard, Cara is asking, they're growing leaves. I haven't checked to see if there are roots on it or not, but they're growing leaves, so that should be good. So we'll see. Figs in a container. I don't see why you can't grow figs in a container. And all you need to grow figs is some cuttings. If you know somebody with a good fig tree, just chop it up. Just take a branch about 6-8 inches and stick it in some soil and keep it well watered. And I've got one out front that's growing in a pot right now, and it's just the branch off of one of my other fig trees. She loves our day. All right. Yeah, and I'm going to just a note. I'm going to cut back on the 2-minute Tuesdays. I compared, and I don't think people wanted to waste their time with 2 minutes. Chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. We don't talk chickens right now. Chickens are not a good thing to talk about in Southern California right now. So we're going to skip the chicken question. And not for any particular reason. Let's just say fine and go on with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Butterfly bushes. And 5 feeders out now. Wow. I had a butterfly once come to a hummingbird feeder and feed one butterfly. For days it was feeding, and I've never seen a butterfly do that again on the hummingbird feeder itself. I wish you do more lice videos. Lice. What's lice videos? Lice? More lice?
Maybe it's mistyped.
I'm not sure what it would be, though.
What's next to the C?
Oh, Priscilla's happy. She was online when we were online. And like I said, I'm testing my camera, and I've already gone 29 minutes, and I didn't want to do this. But now you see the hummingbirds out the window. Now they'll come in right now.
Live videos, see?
More live videos.
I knew she must have mistyped.
Yes, I love when you're on your phone and it spell checks, changes everything, and then you end up sending it and it wasn't what you typed. Yeah, I can see what she meant. I have that with my phone. I go to text my daughter, and it's not what I texted it. did wonderful corrections.
Okay, the bees are doing well. I'm focusing on the bees, and I don't think I'll be able to get honey from them this year. They've sealed up my owl box, so I can't lift the lid up.
You can't get in the lid anymore?
No,
Good.
You can actually see the comb forming. So
Wow.
I'll just leave them be for now and see how things go.
You would really need to get a true beehive to be able to service that. You've got them in a bird box right now.
Yeah, that's what my barbecue beehive's going to be. But I'll have to talk to our neighbour. I've been offered a beehive.
Blue Water is letting her know that you can grow figs in tubs. Yes. Yeah, you know what? You should get it. From Jacob offered you a free beehive. Might as well get it. Yeah, the 99-cent store. I've got to do more of that. 99-cent store, Walmart. I should check out Target. I haven't even gone to Target to see what they've got. I love the 99-cent store hummingbird feeders. I don't have any out the window here, do I? No, not here. I had one. I'm not sure where it went. But I use a lot of those in the yard. And they're one of the best feeders from the 99-cent store because the whole thing comes apart. Now, these come apart too. You can take the whole thing apart. So that's the only feeders I will ever buy. Some of the more expensive ones, you cannot get them apart. You cannot clean them. You're going to have to put bleach in them. And even that, you just can't clean them. So that's the main thing. Any feeder you get, just make sure you can take it apart. Priscilla got them at the Dollar Tree. Yes, they've got the same exact ones that the 99-cent store had. And they're wonderful feeders. So easy to just take apart. I'm for 20-minute Tuesdays. You know what? I think it's better that I cut out the 2-minute Tuesdays and just go gun-ho on just doing videos on anything that pops in my mind. I'm a one-take person, and so you get what I do. And sometimes I just think of something. I had no idea I was going to do something, and I go out there and I just do it, and that's just the way I am. So that's especially with spring coming. With summer coming and plants starting to grow, I'm just going to go out there and just go for it. Hummingbird just came up to my feeder while she was watching. Yeah, I think the hummingbirds will be okay as the weather warms up. And I'm not sure if the mom around the corner, there's a mom right around. Let me see if I can. You won't be able to see her from here. No, you can't. I don't think I can move the camera without. Right around the corner there's a hummingbird feeder. I know you can't see it. There's no way to see it. But she left where she had it out the window here, and she took it around the corner. And she's sitting on eggs or babies. Oh, they're all in the orange tree right now. Look at them. They're all over the place. I don't know if I can stick the camera out the window. I'll try. It's a short cord. That's where they're going to. See, we have hibiscus out there and orange trees there. See, they're all over down there. Now, I bought those orange trees, oh my gosh, back in the 90s, and they didn't do a thing. I got them really cheap, and they didn't do anything, and they just stood really small. And then Gary went and covered the whole bottom with wood chips, and they just took off, and we have more oranges than we could ever use. But we do use them, let me tell you. And they feed on the orange trees as well, the hummingbirds. So they really enjoy it. Even when the butterflies were coming through and migrating, they were just landing in the morning. We found out that the butterflies, the painted ladies, would feed in the morning, and then as the day went on, they didn't feed. They were just moving as quick as they could. But in the morning, they would just cover the orange trees and feed. If you catch anything, go ahead.
Yeah,
because
have any ever gotten into your house?
Oh yeah, we just had 6 of them in our house. Normally, I would drop the screen down here, but you wouldn't be able to see. But they come in, and I've got the screen door open in the other room, so they just fly through and then go out the door. So yes, they do come in. They'll even come in through the doggy door if the feeder is empty. They'll start looking for you. This is no joke, and they will come in. Let's see. Look at them. They're all in the trees, and they're looking around. As the evening comes, and right now we're only, we're 4:50 p.m. It doesn't get dark now until about 8, I would say. They really feed heavy between about 6:30 and 7:30. Very, very heavy. That's when they'll come in and they're all waiting their turn to eat. And now I'm going to stop talking because I'm looking out the window at them. They do come in looking for us. They're amazing birds. So smart. They've got to be one of the smartest birds.
Yeah, I imagine wood chips would be tough to find in London. The Chelsea Flower Show was on last week.
Oh, the Chelsea Flower Show is amazing to watch. And they don't show it here in the States. You have to go and look for it on YouTube. I don't know why they don't show anything here, but I guess people don't want to garden that much. I don't know. New Jersey, it's $7.50. Yeah, it's $4.50 here. I don't know why they don't have any garden shows here in California. You've got Nick Federoff, who has a PBS show, so that's kind of like a government channel, I guess, almost, or a free channel. And then you've got P. Allen Smith, who does some gardening and other things, but that's it. They pulled all the garden shows. Susie, she's saying it's a shame. It is a shame. It's actually, you've got a channel that's called Home and Garden, and you don't have any garden shows on it. Now, not one garden show on a channel that's called Home and Garden. I don't know. I really should end this. I have nothing else to. I want to leave the screen and go read questions, but I can't do that. I've got to get a second monitor set up so I have the questions out in front of me and I can keep an eye on this too. Now I'm boring you all, see? You're all sitting there thinking she's not talking. I'm gonna try to go look at the questions again while you're all watching the hummingbirds. Let's see, what other questions are there? Carmen Bailey, she had said she had cedar waxwings. Oh, those are beautiful. They come in, but that's not hummingbirds. Ruby throats in North Carolina. You know, I got to get more organized. Like I said, this is more of testing than anything else. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this differently next time. And then I'm going to go do a little gardening now. I worked in my front yard today. Oh, she's ranting about Wednesday, about the animal planet.
The animal planet. Yeah, they've taken away the animals. Well, one of the treehouse guys has a dog or something.
And they're saying, let's go demand garden shows. They pulled them. They had garden shows. You even had that Aussie that had a garden show for a while. You had so many garden shows and they pulled them all. And I don't understand that.
It must have to do with their advertisers, how they can make money. So it must be a financial thing.
Our hummingbirds, they're migrating through here and they're going to Alaska is where they're going up north.
Yeah, right.
But then they go back to Mexico, right?
Mexico and Central America.
But not the local ones. We have a lot of them that live here all year, all winter. They're here.
Yeah, some migrate and some are residents. But when they do migrate, we get a lot more than this. This might seem a lot, but during the migration, we'll get a lot. I don't know how many.
The Robbie and Gary show. Oh, I just want to see people grow things. Like I said, put one flower pot out there. Grow some parsley. You know, grow something. Okay, in Texas, they go to Mexico. For the winter, I would imagine a lot of ours do too. But like I said, we do have a lot here all winter as well.
Well, some are overwinter in Texas now because of people putting up feeders. So some of them have sort of started to overwinter in Texas.
Well, as long as there's food, then they'll stick around. They have to have food.
Yeah.
They have to have food. They have to have water and some sort of shelter. And
PBS had a special on hummingbirds, and that I think you can find online.
Yeah, PBS did have a special, a really good one. And it showed, I think they found out about the tongue. The tongue is a split tongue. And that's what's so interesting. I'm trying my hand. Oh, sweet potatoes. Gary grows lots of sweet potatoes.
Yeah, we can grow them as a perennial.
You grow them all year, right?
Yeah, they just grow all year.
Tomatoes. So she's growing tomatoes and eggplant and peppers and cucumbers. This is Nikki, and beans and cherry tomato. Ours are so slow. The tomatoes are still green, but we do have some that are turning red and orange. Depends on them. The cucumbers, I've got cucumbers out there. Peppers, not yet. Peppers here need a lot of warm weather. So unless I had a greenhouse, it's not ready we're not ready for peppers. Jody's saying bye. Bye. I know I'm going to have to say goodbye too. I've got to get things done. And it shouldn't take me 30 minutes to get on. But I did the same thing for 30 minutes until it let me on. That's the thing I don't understand. It kept saying no, no, no. And then all of a sudden it let me on. And it's not a computer that Google doesn't know. Because if they don't know the computer, sometimes they wait for you to check your email. But yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I was inspired by the Back to Eden style gardening and Paul Gauci too.
Well, that's how you were watching all the Back to Eden with Paul Gauci.
Yeah.
And that's what made you start thinking about wood chips. Between that and going gluten-free and starting to grow some food.
Yeah.
Because it was tough. I mean, you could grow here, but it just didn't grow that good until you brought in the wood chips. But now I do container gardening. So if you don't have wood chips, container gardening works too. Homestead Paradise, bye. Yeah, I'm going to say goodbye too. I only wanted to test the camera for 5 minutes, and now it's going into almost 42 minutes. So we're going to say goodbye. Look at our messy kitchen. Wave goodbye, Carrie. Look at our messy kitchen. Our cluttered little kitchen. So everybody have a good evening. Here's the thing. I don't even know how to end this. Do you see a button that says goodbye? Isn't that funny? Okay, now the morning gardener's got to tell me, how do you turn this thing off? I guess if I close the window, then it will go off. So everybody's saying goodbye. Bye, everybody. And I know I missed a lot of you on here. And I'm going to try to be a little bit better organized for next time with questions. And if I can schedule something and I know I can get the camera working right, then I can schedule a time and know. Like I said, I worked for so long and it took me 30 minutes to get this thing to work. So I don't see a button that says goodbye. So I guess I'm just going to close the window. The morning gardener's not on, so he can't tell me how to end it. Do you see how I don't see anything?
No, I don't know. If you click the live button?
No, live doesn't do anything. I guess you just close the window, and if not, everybody's here until we unplug the camera. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Bye. Have a wonderful day. See you all soon. Bye.